you getting yourself ready for our show?
Alrighty, guys, it's another Tuesday. Jigs and Bigs here. I got Bob. I'm Bobby Roastbeef. This show is Jigs and Bigs. We're too good for a fucking hot topic this week. We give zero fucks whatsoever, so get ready. We're going to review our weeks in fishing. Some big shit, some big upgrades have been going on here and there. We've got news about we're through the second week of the Chronic Trips online CPR multi-species fresh and saltwater fishing tournament. Got all that stuff for you. And just the tip this week, we've got we're talking about all things Graham-worthy right here. Why a fisherman would need to know about Instagram this much? We're going to talk about engaging. We're going to talk about sharing. We're going to talk about likes. We're going to talk about comments. We're going to talk about all kinds of good stuff. Trust me, it's important stuff. It matters. You'll find out why. We also have a fuck this guy this week from a past guest, and it's a doozy too. It's a really good one, and we're glad to finally have it on here. So on top of that, we have George Costa, our guest this week for Jigs and Bigs. Trust me, guys, you are not going to want to miss this. We have an amazing show lined up for you. Go ahead and get yourself something enjoyable to make this whole process of absorbing our content through your ear holes as pleasant as humanly possible. We'll be back right after this. I gotta tell you, I don't know why I can't get a goddamn break with the internet, man, these days. I swear. And you remember when we started this show? I had done a major upgrade, and I have always had a problem with being able to upload a bit to live stream. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Although this week I did call Verizon and shop around for other cell carriers because I'm about fed up with that. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little something for fuck this guy, I think, this week too. Party on, man. Good stuff.
Welcome to the fuck your face edition.
Pretty much.
Of Jigs and Bigs, because
pretty much.
Yeah.
Party on, man. So how was your week, Sean? I understand that that you had an experience pre-show that was not pleasant to most people. Probably not pleasant for anybody.
Yeah. You ever get so gross that you have to decontaminate yourself and then you swear at an appliance? So we had some dishwasher issues at my house.
Yep.
And it was not good. It was really bad. The dishwasher is currently disassembled and spread out over 2 rooms. I've got a buddy coming over to help me out with it tomorrow. And fuck my dishwasher. Let's start the show that way. Fuck the internet.
Yeah.
Fuck my dishwasher.
When you guys bought the house, is this the same dishwasher that was in there?
There was no dishwasher in there. We bought a dishwasher.
So this is branded. See, that's the thing. Now you know. You don't have that, like, I wonder if anybody ran fucking stupid shit in here, you know?
No, it was all me.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you know. Yeah, dishwashers can get nasty, man. You know, it's like that little catcher that's supposed to catch all the debris does not do the greatest job sometimes. And you can mess some shit up.
My shit's gross.
Nasty. Yeah.
Thankfully, though, you had a better week.
I did have a better week. I started my week on an amazing note. I went out this week and I bought like my dream truck. I traded in the Ford Escape and I upsized substantially. I bought a 2022 Toyota 4Runner TRD Sport, which is a brand new trim package for the 4Runner. It's basically like a hybrid of like a TRD Pro and a Limited, kind of like in between. So it's it fits, man. I feel right when I'm in that truck. I feel right, you know?
You need to give yourself a round of applause, my friend.
I really do. It's a beautiful ride. I'm so happy with it. You know, the first car I ever had was a 4-wheel drive SUV. It was a 1978 GMC Jimmy, and it was a great vehicle. It was so expensive to drive because it was a 400 engine. And had a 40-gallon tank, and it was just crazy. So, you know, ever since then, I've always kind of wanted to get back to that. And, you know, the 4Runner it's just got this amazing reputation being like, you know, rock solid, super reliable, but also like, you know, friendly to modification. You know, it's like I know that the engine compartment is designed to be modified. I know that there's lots and lots and lots of accessories. So there's a couple mods that are already kind of happening, and all of which are fishing related. I've been talking, of course, with my my trailer guy, Delirious Angler, and we've got a whole plan. You know, that we're putting a rack on the trailer that exists now, so I can have a kayak that rides up on top. There's also talk about doing like a rigging station on there, which I think could be really cool. Like maybe with some type of rod holder type setup, or, you know, cubbies with line and things like that, so I can spool things up and kind of get cute with it, as you would say. And then the biggest one, and the first one that'll happen, is the rod pod. It's a PVC pipe that we're going to custom make. I'm going to do it a nice flat black paint job on it, and put it up on my roof rack so that I don't have to have any rods with me in the car. All the time. I can have, you know, I don't have to worry about like moving. Although with that said, the 4Runner compared to the Escape, night and day. That 7.7 heavy rod, like it barely comes into the front seat. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did take a ride with you the other day and didn't even touch it. Yeah,
it's awesome. I'm like, this is great. I could definitely, you know, if I had to, I could keep the rods in there and be all right. But I would much rather, you know, I'm psyched to get the rod pod up there. I got some stickers that I've been holding on to for exactly this one sort of mission here. And then I took it out on I took it out today, and I did some pond hopping, like really put it through its paces, put a few hours in, and did some fishing. It was pretty awesome. I did what else did I do? So Tuesday I had gone out and I had done some fishing, and I caught 4 all nibblers all week. Then a couple of days later in the week I had gone out. I think it was Wednesday and then Friday. Friday I had experimented, tried a couple of different areas, a couple of new spots that I have never fished before, and I did way more bushwhacking trying to get access to the water than I did actual fishing. In fact, I went to a completely separate body of water, a place that I've been trying to like crack for a while now, and I fished for about 20 minutes before I got that phone call of like, oh, hey, I need you to go do this. I'm like, you got it, honey. And that's it for fishing. But today was awesome, man. Today I got on a total of 10 nibblers. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, nibbled to the power of 10. And I was calling it just, you know, to kind of put a funny little name on it, the Chicopee Chet Classic. And it was great. It was great, man. I started fishing the Chicopee River at different spots. I then shifted gears. I made a stop into Chicopee State Park. Every time I go by there, those gates are locked up. And I know that like once you get to the end of summer and the beaches are closed and stuff, I was like, they're not going to be open today. I'm never going to make it in there. And they were open, so I stopped in. And I hooked 5. I caught 4 of them. The last one bit my swim jig right at the bank, and I couldn't get a good hook set, and just spit the hook. So it kind of sucked because that was probably the biggest one too, of course, as you do, you know, probably the biggest one of the day right there. Then I met up with Paul for a couple hours, caught another 3 there. He had to bail and go attend a soccer game, which, hey, it's all good, you know, had to go to a soccer game. So he took off, and I headed back toward home and made a stop on the way, caught another 3. Those last 3 were all on the swim jig, but everything else I caught was on a Ned rig. And I'm loving that new plastic I've discovered. I am absolutely loving it. You did some fishing today too. You went out and did a little pre-fishing for your big tournament coming up, huh?
I did. I checked out there's a couple ends of this lake. There's a launch in either end, and there's some significant parking issues on one end, and the lot was full when we got there.
Oh.
Yeah, just so happened there's 3 of us fishing this tournament that happened to be pre-fishing today, so we were all saying hello to each other on the water.
There you go.
high fives.
Yeah.
Myself and Nelson and Eric Graves, Gravy Fishing. We hooked it up. We were out on the water. We all got out and explored that place on our own and tried to figure it out. And we all have that tournament coming up Saturday. I think I might get one more shot at pre-fishing it this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to try anyways, based on the fucking shit show going on with my dishwasher. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll find out.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then, I'm not going to get into how I did pre-fishing. I think we've talked about it on the show, though. I tend to have, if I have a rough go of it pre-fishing, I tend to do better in the tournament. And I'm not going to get into how I did or didn't do with the pre-fishing, but I mean, I hope I have a game plan going in. I hope things turn out all right. We'll see where it goes from there. Earlier in the week, I got out with Cousin John. Cousin John's name has not crossed our lips on this show
not
for
in a while.
some time.
Yeah.
Well, Cousin John and his wife are obviously, they're
very preoccupied now.
They're new parents,
Yeah.
so they got shit going on. And Cousin John was able to slip out for a couple hours the other day. And where did we go? The hell did we go? Oh, we went up to Shears.
Oh, up the Shears. Okay.
That's broad enough. We went up to Shears, and
what was the water temp up there when you guys went out?
Up to Shears at that particular lake was 60.
Oh, okay.
And today it was 64. But I'm not expecting the lake that we're fishing the tournament on to hold those temps because we're getting some cold shit coming in this week. I don't know if you saw did you see the weather forecast?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I'm expecting to see, that the real fall patterns start happening here soon. It was I think they were starting to fire up in the Berkshires of the lake we were at. Yeah,
because those fish were ravenous. We were out there for 2 hours, and both John and I went double digits. 2 hours, just murder.
It's funny. Have you noticed the fish that you've been catching? Like all the fish I caught today had pretty good chunky little bellies on them, man.
Not this place. They were really average size now. They were just. I saw some things. Sometimes people, or sometimes you really have to look at like a suggestion for fishing, like a lure modification or something like that. And one I took to heart years ago was I do replace some hooks with red hooks on crankbaits and jerkbaits. It depends on which ones. If I have a red crankbait, I don't really do it. I don't think there's a point because the thing's already red. But some of them I do. And I was running a crankbait with a red front hook. And every fish I caught the other day up the Shears everyone was on the red hook. Every single
really?
one.
Okay.
So that was, it was just kind of neat to see. They were all either pegged right in the top of the mouth or the corner of the mouth, but everyone
was on that
red hook.
Huh?
Red hook was in the mouth. Yeah, so that was kind of neat to see.
I've heard before that using a red hook, or have you seen these trebles where they'll have like a swivel hanging from the center, and there'll be a little willow leaf blade?
I have seen that. I have not tried it.
Yeah, I mean, same principle of you offer them something a little bit different here, and that's kind of where you make the assumption anyway that that's where they're keying in when they're going to strike. But
yeah, but it worked. It worked the other day, and another happy thing. I didn't share this with you. Well, I did. Maybe I did tell you, but we got a very nice present in the mail for you and I.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
I think I told you about this, right? So our good friend Cody Van Zant.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, you did.
Friend of the show and friend of small woodland furry creatures. Sent us each a couple of stickers, and I'll hold them up. I know, nobody can watch us, but this Cody has a new logo going on for his little locker fishing deal.
Yeah.
It's very psychedelic.
Yep.
I love psychedelic stuff. It's cool. He gave us some stickers, and we got patches.
Patches are awesome.
So if we ever decide, start a Jigs and Bigs biker gang, dude, first patch on, bam, Lockwood.
Booyah. Done. Yeah.
Fucking A.
That's a good idea.
Jigs and Bigs biker gang?
Jigs and Bigs biker gang. You could tow a kayak trailer with a bike, right? I don't know if you'd want to.
I kind of gave up getting beat up in bars years ago. I'm good.
Yeah, that makes sense. No. I guess that makes sense, man. Yeah, it was a crazy week. I mean, I did a lot of driving this week because I wanted to kind of like really get familiar with the new ride. And It's just amazing the room that I've got. Like, I can keep my trivia gear in the back like I would with my Escape, but I had to put all my fishing tackle in the back seat. My bags, my catch board, like and my net, all that stuff had to go back there. This is not the case now. I can put everything right back there. And once I get the rods in the rod pod, like that's just going to make my life amazing. It's going to be so, so nice. But the biggest issue I'm having right now is I got to track down either an 8-inch. I'll settle for a 6-inch. I really would like to do an 8-inch diameter PVC 10-foot pipe is what I'm looking for. I'm going to cut it down to, I think, 8 feet should be plenty.
Yeah.
Hear that
gentleman
right
out there?
Yeah.
Bobby's looking for an 8-inch pipe.
Looking for an 8-inch pipe. There you go. Nicely done. Nicely done, you bastard. Oh, my goodness. But we've got good stuff coming up in Just the Tip. There's a couple of things that kind of come around that made me think that now is the time to talk about some social media, man. I've seen a lot of stuff. We'll cover this in Just the Tip, but I've seen a lot of people either complaining about social media, not getting the results that they want. I've also seen like a lot of bullshit on social media too. So I kind of want to utilize this because Instagram is just an amazing platform that seems to do well with every other platform. It does great for us as a podcast platform, but I also see it doing really big things for, people that are on YouTube, people that are, have other businesses, whether they're guides, professional anglers even, I see that's a great place to focus. So we're going to talk a lot about Instagram, all that kind of good stuff. Man, it's just been freaking crazy. So this tournament that you have coming up, we've kind of already covered this, but you're sort of competing twice on the same day.
Yeah, it's a double whammy for me.
Yeah.
So we're fishing 8-4 for the MAKB championship. I believe that's you know what? I forget the exact number. I think it's 40. Yep. It's a 40 angler field, give or take. It's a big body of water. So, yep. People are going to be spread out all over the place, but those southern spots are going to be really tight to get a hold of with the limited parking. But I think we're gonna work it out. If somebody really wants to fish the south and the only option is to park up north, we're going to be ferrying people back and forth if they need to. That's going to run 8-4. Yep. Yeah. We're competing against each other, but we're all on the same team.
Yeah, exactly.
And then from 8-1, myself, Greg, oh God, I'm going to fuck his last name up. Krasnowicki. I hope so. And Valber Santos are going to be finishing up the best 3 fish knockout tournament. So we'll see what happens there. And I think we're all going from the south, all 3 of us. So that's the launch with the limited access for now. So we'll see what happens. I think we decided we were all going to go from the launch and from the same launch. And dude, who knows?
Yeah, you just got to play it by ear,
Yeah, this is a feast and famine lake, so we'll see what happens. And next week we'll have definitely quite a bit to talk about.
Oh yeah,
this.
Yeah. Next week's going to be a big, big week. Yes. Lots of stuff coming up. Lots of stuff. It's been a busy week for me. This week that we're going into, I actually get back to doing 5 trivia nights in a row, Monday through Friday, which is I'm kind of nervous about tomorrow's. We're recording this on Sunday night. I'm kind of nervous about Monday's the launch at the new place, Wing Madness. I'm hoping it's going to be awesome. I know some people are really psyched about it to be that close to the Chicopee area again. So I'm hoping I can draw some folks. But man, it's crazy.
Fucking Chet himself is all fired up.
Chet himself.
He's got his pants are off. He's ready to party.
Chet is ready for action. He's ready to go at a moment's notice. Oh my goodness! Today was a great day, man. It really was. Getting out there and Well, what did I brought 3 combos with me. I brought my my top water, my frog and stick, and I put that little sprinkler frog on there, just because I was like versatility. I'm not going to carry a bunch of stuff. Versatility. I can slow this down to give me like this kind of action. I can fish it more traditionally like a frog if I need to. If I have the heavy cover and stuff, then awesome. If not, I'll just treat it like a frog bite, and wait till I feel them pull back. And then I brought a swim jig to basically just kind of search search with a little bit faster, and then a Ned rig. And the Ned just got it done. The Ned got it done a lot. I think I think 4 out of the 10 were on the swim jig, but the rest were all Ned rig fish. Yeah,
very nice.
Various nibbler size.
Nibblerific. How did you what is your review of the Sprinker frog? What do you think of that Teckle Sprinker?
I like it. I have yet to connect with it. I like the versatility more than anything. I think that's what I like about it, because I fish it a lot like I would a buzzbait in a lot of ways, and it works well. But I also like the fact that I can slow it way down, where with a buzzbait I can't. And
you can stop it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I can get to a spot where I know I'm like right on a weed edge or something like that, and I can just kind of like pop it and crawl it, and it was great. But today was just not the top water day, which is fine. That's fine. I'll take a finesse day all day. I love the fight on finesse gear, man. Always, always, always good stuff. I was out with Paul. He was. I had told him. You and I had gone fishing in the Yaks the other day, and we had both marked fish in this really deep spot. And he and I had tried to go back and fish this place, but the problem was it was a parking situation. Actually, the only spots that were available were the handicap spots, and I'm like, not worth it to park and get $100 ticket just so I could go and catch here. But I told him, I said, look, man, I have a feeling that the drop shot in this one deep spot is what's going to get it done for these fish specifically. And Paul was like, yeah, all right, cool. I'm going to throw a drop shot. It's going to be great. So he had that rigged up, and he was throwing it all over the place today. Had a couple of nibbles, and then had one bite, and he spit it right near the bank too. Sucks. But like anything, when you're a power fisherman by default, it takes a little bit to learn how to handle a finesse style hook set, things like that.
Yep.
That'll definitely come into play. Crazy shit.
I didn't tell you what I did last night.
Oh, what'd you do last night?
We didn't talk. This is good stuff.
Oh.
So I had an errand to run. I think I told you, or we mentioned last week, that my oldest son's soccer schedule has been nothing short of insane.
Yeah.
So they just finished up yesterday.
World Cup.
Yeah, she's crazy. They just finished up. Let me think about this. Game 4 of 5 games in 6 days. Tomorrow is the 5th game, right?
Oh.
Because of all the makeups of the rain that we've had in Western Mass recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to take a break and say, all right, listen, it's been a lot of running around with the kids. To be quite honest, I love my kids, but I need a break from them. Everybody does.
Everybody needs a break. Yeah, come on. You spend too much time with your kids. You go nuts.
You're goddamn right. So I made mention to my wife. I said, look, I got to run down to Hartford. I got to do an errand down there.
Yep.
And I said, why don't you come along with me? And she said, okay, what are we going to do? I said, let's grab a bite to eat. Let's visit Bar Taco. And at this point, for whatever reason, my wife made mention she has never been to Bar Taco with me. So I said, well, I thought she had. I could have swore she mentioned that she had gone there with coworkers at some point in the past. I was apparently incorrect.
Huh.
And we had a nice night out and ate so much fucking Bar Taco.
Nice.
That I think I'm dead inside. Like, it was that good that my body said, I'm done. There's no point in going forward here.
That is awesome.
I ate everything. And there's a new menu item that you and I didn't try.
Okay.
It might have been there. It's new to me, but she ordered it. And I kind of was like, all right, you're going to order that, whatever. They have corn on the cob with that cojita cheese all over it.
Oh, the Mexican street corn?
Dude.
Oh, it's amazing, dude.
It's crazy. Did you have that the last time we went?
I didn't have it there. I've never had it there, but I've had it. Oh my God, I've had it a bunch of different places. I've been at cookouts. There was a guy who I was in a band with at like our 3rd jam session ever. He's like, oh yeah, I got a bunch of friends coming over. We're gonna cook some burgers and stuff. He's like, comes over and he hands me. He's like, Mexican street corn. I'm like, I'm gonna like this band.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm gonna like this band.
I have I popped my Mexican street corn cherry last night, I guess. Nice. I don't know, it was great. My wife got one and I said, Can I have that has cheese on it? She's like, yes. But I shared one of the glazed pork belly tacos I had, which I have to say, Not a highlight last night.
No, really.
Little dry. Very unusual for that bar taco in Hartford. Little dry. So, okay. It was the night. Every other one of the tacos was fantastic. I tried I tried that spicy shrimp one.
Oh no, I don't think I've had that one.
Oh yeah, that one was. I don't know if it's new or not, but I said, we'll get a little wacky here tonight, a little silly, a little crazy,
zesty.
It was in fact zesty. It was a little. It had some heat to it.
Yep.
And I don't think I was ready for that level of heat. It wasn't like crazy. You would you would raise an eyebrow at me and say, "Really?" But But
yeah, I get it. I mean, hey, heat. Sometimes that's all you need is a little bit of heat. That's sometimes all you need.
Sometimes
a taco with a little bit of heat in there. That's all you need.
That's right. Not me, not last night. So yeah, we had a nice night out. Got some bar taco. Ate a bunch of dude. I'm telling you what. We brought some home from one of my sons. Yep. Those Baja fish tacos.
They're so good. They're so simple. Yeah.
Yeah. They're light. They kick your ass. They're great. And in a good way, though.
Yeah.
In a good way, kicking your ass.
And I think that the majority of it is just that not only is it great and simple, but it's in the fact that like that fried fish is so perfect. It's flaky, it's crisp, it's light, it's not greasy. You can even tell like that they maintain their oil really, really well. God, we're so fat, dude. We're just we've been talking for like 26 minutes, and the last 10 of it's been about food.
Well, we haven't been to Bar Taco in a while.
It's true. Well, we also this week we did a trip to Mrs. Murphy's or Mrs. Mitchell's. Excuse me,
Mitchell's.
It's been that long.
There is a Mrs. Murphy's in Western Massachusetts, so that is a cardinal sin that just happened.
It's true, yeah. Mrs. Mitchell's. It's been a hot minute anyway. I mean, at least a month. No, more than that. Like at least 6 weeks since we've been for one of our little business luncheon meetings. And my wife loves when I say I have a meeting, and she's like, "Oh, you're going out for breakfast, you fucking fat bastard."
And you know what? She's not wrong.
No, she's not. She's not at all. But we have plans for some big stuff, and it's just in the infancy stages right now, but there's some good shit coming your way. Good shit. This weekend, actually, it's over now, but Stretching Lines did that fundraising tournament over this weekend. I don't know how it went. I'm excited to kind of see what the breakdown looks like. Who got on what? Like, I mean, today, I know there were a lot of people out there on kayaks too, and today there was a lot of wind. How was the wind where you were today, Sean?
Started, I don't know, around 10 miles an hour, and I think by the time we got off the water, it was somewhere closer to 20 to 25. It picked up.
It was, I mean, later on, when it started to kind of pick up, it was like right place, right time, because I was on the bank where the wind was blowing in. And I'm like, we'll use the shit out of this, and I basically would just find whatever cover was nearby and go pick a couple fish off of here, go find that other next laydown or that overhang or whatever to play off of, and then boom. And we had a good time. It was good stuff. But we got
nice.
Yeah. We got one hell of a show. Coming up, we have, of course, that Just the Tip segment. We're going to be talking about Instagram, social media. Like, not only what does it mean for somebody who's into the outdoors just in general, but, I mean, obviously with us, fishermen, anglers. We're also going to talk, though, about, like, why it's important and how you can maximize to get a better return on your efforts there. What are the right steps to do? So we're going to be talking about some buzzwords. We're going to be throwing around words like comment, share, and what's the other one? Follow. We're going to be talking about engagement, all kinds of good stuff like that. Coming up, segment 2, we've got our Fuck That Guy segment with Matt Thayer from Klondike Custom Creations. And then this week, I had the honor of having George Costa on the show. And we got to talk about some big swim baits. We got to talk about some of his highs, some of his lows, and a lot of everything in between too. So you're not going to want to miss out on that.
Did I tell you the awesome thing that Georgie did a couple months ago? Like, I don't know if I mentioned it on the show or not. Just a fucking stand up awesome thing that he did, and it was really humbling.
Was it in the tournament when he had to get a bunch of fich DQ'd? Was that?
Well, that too. He was really gracious about that.
Yeah, because we talked about that in the interview. And I don't think you did mention. What is it you're referring to?
I got an email from a third party.
Yep.
The third party was, I'll go ahead and say it because they sent it to me, and this is just all cool, Naqua, and said, thank you, Sean, for recommending our products. Because, we constantly talk about Naqua's shit. We love their batteries, and we love their power systems, right? And we love their power banks. Power banks. And they sent me this email, and it was an order that I guess, I don't know what he picked up, but Georgie had placed an order with them and said, he put in the notes, if it's good enough for Sean the Fisherman, it's good enough for me.
No shit. That's awesome,
fucking
man.
pretty rad.
Nice. That's awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah, at some point we'll get together with him. He's out on the Cape. I know my Cape shenanigans happen as the colder weather sets in, so
definitely
I'll get out there and let him know I'm going out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got to go ahead and do that. It's so funny. Like he is really into like the big swim baits and stuff. We get into some of that, and I mean, that's the thing that I love about fishing, man. People, they love to do what they do, and if they're finding success with it and they can find a way to make it work, different folks do things differently, Which sounds stupid to say it, you know what I mean? But like it's true. Different folks, they have their own way of doing stuff, and it's, hey, whatever you got to do to get the job done, man, if it works. So let's just go ahead and mention before we forget that, of course, and I mentioned this actually in the video that I had posted on Instagram today, our fishing report that Cheryl over at Northeast Wild Woman does is fan-frickin-tastic, man. Like clockwork, we have updates every Thursday about what the fishing conditions are like. And, as we get into the fall season, we've got some folks that contribute that, hey, they might be out doing some hunting some of this time. Some folks don't necessarily get out when it gets so cold, but we've still got information for you regarding conditions, regarding what people are throwing, how everything's working out for them. So if you're interested, you're fishing basically anywhere from Worcester, Mass to the New York line and between Vermont and Connecticut, we got you covered as far as your information of what's been going on in this region right here. Like we said, temps right now are still above that kind of like fall transition-y type area, but they're starting to drop and they're getting there quick. So be ready and know what's going on. Check out northeastwildwoman.com or jigsandbigs.com and then click the fishing report to go check that out. What else do we have going on?
When we put that fishing report together every week, so now it's not just me calling up, correspondence. So Cheryl has done such a great job with it that she set up a thread and she's like, pop them in, boom, every Wednesday, every Thursday. I want the reports. Let's go. Let's do this shit. So she's taking she's a boss of us.
She ran that show, man.
I always say nobody's a boss of me except for my wife. But Cheryl's the boss of us with the fishing report. So when the reports started coming in last week, she and Brett. I think Brett put, I put the rods away. I'm out hunting. Oh. And she was like, and she put ditto. Well, that led to, me obviously accusing them of quitting.
Yeah, exactly.
And we got a little chippy back and forth, all of us. Got a little cute, a little funny, a little fresh. We have a good time with it. So, that was funny. But thanks again to Cheryl as always for
she's killing it.
Gathering this information and wrangling the cats that are the fishing report, jighead correspondents, whatever the fuck we are. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And then, of course, we've got merch available at jigsandbigs.com. We got your shirts, your hats, your hoodies, your performance gear. We've got new stuff that we're going to be launching very soon. Some very, very, very special items, as well as some real limited edition type items that you're going to want to check out. Very, very cool stuff. And, of course, we're still working on these Instagram giveaways. The Bobby Roast Beef account is going back and forth. It's teetering quite a bit. But when I look at the Jigs and Bigs account, the Jigs and Bigs account is almost at 13K.
Holy shit.
It's almost there, man. And I'm telling you, that's going to be an amazing giveaway. So if you're, if you follow Bobby Roast Beef, Sean the Fisherman, or Jigs and Bigs on Instagram, do yourself a huge favor and tag your friends that might not be following any of those accounts. And here's why. Because we've got giveaways that are happening every time we cross a benchmark of 1,000. And when that 1,000 mark crosses a 5,000 benchmark, we've got an even bigger prize coming up for you. So you're not going to want to miss out. We've got amazing, amazing partners that we're working with here. Sean, please go ahead and tell everybody who our amazing partners are.
The 5 partners we're working with currently are Stretching Lines, Hookset Hoodlums, 3 Bells Outdoors, Old Glory Outdoors, and Naqua. Yes, Naqua. Everybody's put up some awesome shit.
Yeah.
I believe I put a post on Instagram on the Sean the Fisherman one that you shared.
Yep.
Am I correct on that?
Yep.
on I think both accounts that has a listing of all the prizes.
Yeah.
You actually have to read the list because I put pictures up, but I defined what they were just in case, I just wanted to eliminate any questions. People go through Instagram a little quickly these days. I get it.
They do.
I get it. I also have been, as we discussed, completely hooked on Instagram's reels like a addict. So,
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe keep an eye in the future, folks. There might be some Jigs and Bigs shenanigans coming up. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows? You never know.
We're working on it. It's all about engaging. We're going to find out. I'm actually going to give out some of our tricks for how we engage using social media in this next segment. So, guys, we're going to take a very, very short break. Come back in. We're going to talk about Instagram. We're going to talk about why it's important to you and how you can engage your following. And why is that so important? You're going to find out. Sit tight, guys. We'll be back with more right after this. Jigs and Bigs is proud to announce we're being supported by Old Glory Outdoors. They're a veteran-owned company that carries fishing and hunting gear. Plus, they're highly active in supporting veteran organizations and charities. Old Glory is an authorized dealer of favorite rods, FX rods, Googan baits, X-Zone lures, Sixth Sense, and many more. There's a brick-and-mortar store located in East Brookfield, Massachusetts, but you can also order online at oldgloryoutdoors.com. They ship anywhere in the lower 48 states or order online and pick up at the store. When you order, use the promo code Jigs and Bigs and you'll save 10% off your complete order. Plus, you'll help support the show. Make sure to check out the apparel line called OGO Gear while you're there. Old Glory Outdoors believes in the slogan "Start 'em young" to keep kids away from screens and enjoying nature. They've got a full array of live bait too. Check out oldgloryoutdoors.com and use the promo code Jigs and Bigs. Save some money and gear up now.
Bobby and Sean now have a special presentation for us all. They'd like to give everyone just the tip.
Indeed, we will. Just the tip for everyone. So, this week's Just the Tip segment is not necessarily focused 100% on fishing. This is more about social media and specifically Instagram. A lot of our folks that we network with do so on Instagram. And it seems no matter what you do, if you're a content creator like us, you're a podcaster, maybe you have a YouTube channel, maybe you do both, maybe you've got, maybe you're a professional angler, maybe you're out there and you're hitting the tournament side of things heavy. There is a need for a lot of these anglers to have a presence on Instagram or on social media just in general. But Instagram seems to be the bridge that kind of connects everything. If you're big on TikTok, your Instagram probably does okay. You know what I mean? You probably can get some traffic back and forth. YouTube, same thing. Like Instagram, seems like lots of people are out there using Instagram, and it doesn't seem to have some of the downfalls that like some of the more traditional sites, social media platforms have, like Facebook and even Twitter. It's more visual on Instagram. They've done a good job of kind of combining platforms between stories and posts and now reels. There's a lot that you can do with it, but it's important to an angler not just in general. It's important to an angler that's trying to elevate what they're about, what they're doing. And when I say that, I don't mean the angler that wants to go out and catch some fish and have a great time or maybe beat their own personal best or something. I'm talking about the angler that is creating content, visual content, audio content, anything. Or maybe they're an angler that is fishing competitively. And why would this be important for them? It gets important because that shit's expensive. And it really helps to have some sponsorships to help you cover the expense for all of this. You know, Sean and I had gone down some of the breakdowns of like what some of these competitive anglers are spending in some of these larger trails for, some of them. I mean, even just, within our area, but you look like at the big nationwide trails, just in travel alone, it is insane. It takes so much out of you. So having a partner that can then, throw you some money to go toward your gas or lodging or whatever that might be, that's really helpful. And I mean, when this is your passion, like the more help you can get, the better. But you're not just going to get this for being a kick-ass angler. What you need to do is show that you've got an audience that can move their products. So really what we're getting at here is, how do you build that audience? How do you make your presence on social media worth a damn? Well, I'm going to share a trick right now that I have used, and I believe without a shadow of a doubt that this has played a major role in us getting visibility where we would not be seen. So before I start with anything, I want to say this. The cardinal rule of social media, regardless of the platform, and there will be nuances from time to time, if you engage it, you will get seen. So putting up your own posts and not replying to comments or not commenting on others' posts or not reacting or whatever it might be, that's not going to get you anywhere. You've got to engage. So one of the things that I had started doing, and I do this on both my Bobby Roast Beef and on Jigs and Bigs, but I do it far more religiously on Jigs and Bigs, is I reshare posts. And I don't mean I share posts to my story. I do that all the time as well, especially if it's something that has that's related to what we're doing. So if somebody posts something and it's got something to do with like somebody that kind of falls in our little corner, then we're all about it and we share that. If it's somebody out fishing and they're listening to the podcast and that's the audio that's playing in the background, you're damn right I'm going to share that, absolutely, on our story. But what I'm talking about is something a bit different. And when I say share, this involves a second app, and it can be free. So I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to pick a post that I have shared, and you see this often with me. I post a lot of different memes and things like that. Sometimes I'll post things that are like just pictures of baits that I think are interesting. And what I do is I start my morning with a good cup of coffee from Three Bells Outfitters. And what I do is I go over to my my Explore page. Or sometimes I'll just go right on my regular feed and I'll find something there. But what I like to do is I like to go to my Explore page because I can see more. So I tap the little magnifying glass. I see all the Explore stuff. It shows me reels. It shows me everything. I just scroll through that. And what's nice about your Explore page is if you're liking things that you genuinely like on your regular feed and you're commenting and engaging with these things, it will try to find similar posts related to that somehow. So what I'll do is I start going through and I see a bunch of different items. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a post that somebody has that has a solid amount of engagement on it. Nothing amazing necessarily, but I'm looking for 500 to 1,000 likes and, a decent amount of comments. This is engaging people. And what I'll do is I'll find that post, I'll tap on there and go to that post, and at the very top of the screen, there are 3 dots just across from the account that's posted that. I tap that, and it gives me a pop-up, and it says copy, and I tap on copy link in that menu. Copy link. So what happens is that automatically copies the link of that specific post. This is where I go to another app. Now, I use an app that is called Repost. I have no allegiance to any of these apps. There are dozens of them out there. If you go on your app store and you search for IG or Instagram reshare app or repost app, what it will basically do, what all these apps do is they're a catch-all. So whatever the URL was that you copied, it's going to be looking for that on the clipboard, and it's going to find that, and then you can select that post. And once you select that post, it'll give you the option to repost it, and when it does that, it'll repost all of that on your profile. Here's the thing. You want to make sure that it copies the original description. Now, what I'll do to make this post my own is I'll weigh in my opinion. Maybe I'll ask a question. Questions are always a great way to engage. I'll do something in that description. And then at the very tail end, I'll just I'll paste all of that info from that original post that I am reposting. So essentially what I've done is I've taken an image, something that may have gotten some stuff, but I've engaged it by bringing it to my audience. And I'm going to go a step further. I probably shouldn't even give you guys this. It's probably a bit much. Look for something that causes somebody to respond, something that asks a question. It could be the stupidest thing ever. Something that asks a question. Everybody's got an opinion, and everybody loves to share their opinion. So if you do something that asks a question, or even if it doesn't, if you can ask the question in the description, you're going to, by default, just because of the way humans naturally are, they're going to engage with that because it asks them a question. This can be manipulated. You could use hot topics. I mean, that's not something I necessarily try to do. I try to keep it straight and narrow as far as with what I'm sharing, but you can definitely play around with some things, some different topics, and get people to see things. And what you'll notice is you'll get more likes from people that you're not following, because it's showing up in their feed. And the more that you engage that by liking people's comments, commenting or replying to their comments, even if it's just some emojis saying like, hey, thanks for the comment or something, respond to them, you're engaging. And then go and whomever you're following, engage. So that's resharing. Some folks are not going to like this. Some folks are going to say, oh, that's not original content. It's not about original content, guys. Everybody takes great pictures. Everybody takes amazing pictures. These phones have amazing cameras. They have great stuff. But the reality of it is, what you need to do is we're basically battling for bandwidth almost. We're trying to get through this filter where people can only see so many things on their feed at one time or another. By allowing people to, by utilizing a tool like reposting, what it does is it gets more eyes on your profile, and in turn, there's a residual benefit to the posts that do nothing. I've gone through and I've looked at my insights over the last year plus, and it all holds true. The posts that get the most engagement are the posts that I've reshared, but my original posts are getting more engagement than before I ever started resharing. So the bump that you see, if you do it consistently, it really does pay off very, very well. So as long as you can get your content, seen in front of people and they dig it, then you're going to create an organic following. And that's the key word. An organic following is way more important than having this huge number of followers that aren't engaging your stuff. If you guys want to know if somebody's bullshit, you go ahead and take a look at those profiles that have 20, 30,000 likes, followers, and see what they're getting for engagement on their posts. Take a look. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your freaking mind. And the last thing I want to say regarding regarding social media, or specifically Instagram, is the old, what holds tried and true is that saving posts has more impact than anything. When you go through, if you're looking at a post and you see something that you think is cool, or a content creator that you regularly engage with that you want to support, right underneath the picture you'll see 3 icons. The heart is for liking. The little thought balloon, that's for the comment, and then that paper airplane is to share it to your story, which is cool, but you've got this little ribbon over here to save. If you tap that little ribbon, what happens is that tells Instagram that you wanted to see that enough, you saved it, so you could go back and see it again. That has a whole lot more impact than anything else. Likes are at the bottom of the barrel. Shares, saves, comments. Boom. Very important. So that is what it is. Hopefully you guys are okay to go ahead and check it out. Download one of those free repost apps, whatever one you kind of think that you like. Give it a go. Listen to this back. Feel free to shoot me a DM, too, if you have any questions or anything like that, because I do see myself doing far more of this. But if you're in a position where you feel like you could benefit by having a more engaged audience or a larger audience that is just engaged, period, this is something you want to pay attention to. And it's not difficult. Anybody can do this.
You better get a lot of thank yous from people, because you just opened up a can of whoop ass and helped everybody out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm your disciple to a point. I find myself not having enough time to do shit. You know what I mean? And try to keep up fishing on top of that. But I have definitely, anyone who I interact with, if they put up a post, I can't think of a time where I don't like, save, and share it if I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might not have anything for a comment. I try to, again, I'm organic with that shit. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Comments help.
Yep.
But I always save and like. So I'm trying, man. I try to help out our crowd too. And any of you grammars out there that were listening to this, you owe Bobby Roast Beef a thank you, because This man's cracked the code. Shared it with you.
And that's the thing. There are people who are going to be pissed that they're like, "Oh, that's not original content. Blah blah. That's bullshit. That's just buying like." No, it's not. Buying likes is paying a service to give you a bunch of bots that follow your account for nothing, and they're not engaged. This here is a way to get exposure so that people can see all of your content and then follow you and engage. Because a follower is nothing. A follower means nothing if they're not engaged. And you'll never get that engagement if you don't engage yourself. You just got to go and throw some likes and comments. You got to do what's organic, And I've been saying that from the get-go, even in trivia. Like, when people ask me when I host games, when I'm doing trivia, I tell them, I'm like, the whole thing is you just have to be organic. I had a moment last week where I misread a question, and it was like imperative that I got this right, because it was a sequence question where I needed people to list state capitals from west to east. And when I read it, I said east to west. And then it went on the screen and said west to east. You see how this could be a train wreck. Well, I have 13 teams in front of me basically telling me to go fuck off because I misread something, and we're in the last round. Of course, I've got the bitch tax thing, so I was yelling at them and swearing at them. I'm like, you guys, I will reset everybody's score to 0 right fucking now. I'm like, I'll bitch tax the whole room. You know what I mean? I'm like, come the fuck on. I'm like, I apologize, but I can't stop the game end last round and go and fix this. And in the end, that 10 points wouldn't have made any difference. But
did anybody
get it right? Yes.
Anybody, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like half the room got it right. And that was my other part of the argument. I was like, how the fuck are you guys pissed? You managed to get it right. We got 2 screens in here. You guys all saw the question,
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is,
Glad I wasn't there. I would have got taxed up my fucking ass.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, it was going to be the whole room or nothing. I just went right immediately to the next question. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be organic, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. And it's funny because I did a private party for one of the teams who was there, actually. It was a birthday party. And the bartender of that bar where I was on that night was in attendance for this party. We were talking about it afterwards. She goes, but that's the thing, Bobby. She's like, that's why people love you. They'll bust your ass about shit, but you will fucking get right and put them right in their place, And I'm like, that's exactly it. I'm like, yeah, I go, they like seeing me melt down to the point of where all sanity is escaping me. That's what it is. But being organic is all that matters when it comes to social media. It's like you gotta be you. You gotta be organic. Things are going to change from user to user. People are going to do different things the way that they want to. It's just like throwing baits. I love a swim jig. I'm not a big swim bait guy. Maybe, maybe I'll get on TikTok too. Do some fucking dances.
The shuffle.
Fucking shuffles.
The fucking shuffle. I've seen so much shuffle. I'm sick of shuffle.
We got to start up. We somehow have to figure out how to make the Sean the Fisherman shuffle trend.
I will fucking break every bone in my legs trying that. I am a fucking old, decrepit man who likes to go into a kayak and can't even mentally handle it when a goddamn pontoon boat crosses my path. I have to look away from them because otherwise I'll start swearing.
Yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, you bastards. All right. Well, you know what time it is, right?
Oh, boy.
It is that time.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
You are damn right. Now, I just want to throw this out here that this episode, or this segment rather, of Fuck That Guy, this message came in, I'm actually looking at the date, it came in on September the 18th from Matt Thayer, who is owner of Klondike Custom Creations. You want to talk about some amazing baits? Like, Klondike's got you covered. Like woodworking, balsa, like great, like true craftsmanship. In fact, Sean, I've got it on good accord that we have a care package from Klondike Custom Baits, Custom Creations, en route to us. So
excellent.
We get to experiment a little bit here. But Matt had... he had left me a message on Facebook. And remember, I told you guys, like, leave us the message on jigsandmigs.com right in there. Now I see why he used Facebook, because it's about 2 minutes long in total. The only issue with Facebook is it gets kind of buried with messages, and then I got to remember to go back and get this. So my apologies, Matt, that this is literally almost a month to the day behind schedule. And when you guys hear him, he's going to talk about how there was no fuck this guy that week. You guys will remember the week. You'll trust me. If you've been listening for a while, you'll get it. Anyway, let's go ahead and give it over to Matt, and he can take it from there and tell us all about who it is that should be fucked.
What's up, guys? It's Matt Thayer from Pontoon Custom Creations. Hope you guys are doing well. I was just listening to last week's episode, and there was no fuck that guy entries. So I actually have a pretty good one. I was out fishing my last club tournament of the year on Saturday, September 11th. And I was offshore dragging a football jig and around some rocks and stuff out in Connecticut, a place called Patchogue Lake, or Patchogue Pond. It's one of the bigger lakes that I fish, just under 1,000 acres. But anyways, this dude on a pontoon boat comes around somewhere. I don't know. I just hear another boat back in the distance, whatever. And this dude comes up, and he was so close to me, I could have reached out and touched him with my rod. And I don't have too big of a boat. I just have a 17-foot tracker, which is a glorified fucking canoe. And this dude hit me with a wake like crazy. I fell down. I broke my mount and my fish finder on my console. My leg was dangling in the water. I bent the shit out of my steering wheel. And I looked up, and the dude just gives me the shrug the shoulders and arms up in the air. Like, what in the fuck was that? Like, what kind of... I wanted to chase him down and give him a piece of my mind, but I didn't. I was in a tournament and kind of half-ass focused. So, anyways, that's my segment for fuck that guy, because literally fuck that guy, because he fucked me up. So, yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your show.
That is fucked up. That is probably one of the worst things I've ever heard yet.
By give him a piece of his mind, did he mean beat him unmerciful?
I think so. I hope so. At that point, holy shit, man. Like, I would be chasing him, if nothing else. Like, what about, like, the mount on the fish finder, the steering wheel, like, all that shit, all the damage? You know what I mean? Oh, my God. What a piece of shit. And no joke, he's on a pontoon boat. Dude, you were just talking about pontoon boats. What a piece of shit.
Stay off my fucking lawn.
Stay off my lawn. What an a-hole. Oh, my God. Like, at that point, that's what you just want to do, is just lob, like, a giant freaking walking bait or something. You have to guy and snag them.
I've literally, I've had enough. So I've just had so much. I've had enough of the lake lice, whether they're larval lake lice, like those little shitty 1980s Miami Vice jet skis I've been seeing all year, or full-grown adult lake lice on pontoon boats. I've had it so much that they're gonna do stupid shit. All I can do is really make sure I'm not gonna get hit by a fucking boat, which I do.
Yeah.
And then when they obliviously, drive by and wave at me like, "Hey man, what's going on? Do a little fishing. How are you?" I don't look. Like I bury my head in my fish finder. Because otherwise I'm gonna respond with something like,
exactly,
"Fuck you, what is wrong with you, asshole?" Or,
and I almost,
do you not know etiquette? What the fuck? Get off the water. Where do I go with this?
I almost wonder if like maybe that's how it should be. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you're in this huge boat. I'm in this kayak, fully aware of how vulnerable I am, and do you need to be like confined to the shallows? That's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that's right. Crazy. Although, and I say that like as a kayak angler, like if I had a 17-foot boat, I mean, like that's compared to a kayak, it's significant, Yeah.
Why
isn't
why
Loaded Potatoes boat a 17 or 19?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Either way, dude. Like,
yeah, it's like
why? Why?
Just have a little bit of respect. People, and that's the kicker, the wake, man. Come on. Like, use your freaking head.
I'm not going to sit here and make,
no
fucking threats or anything. It's just, most people aren't that bad, but
when they are,
there's a lot of people that are. Most aren't, but there's just so many. The ones you remember are not the ones that give you a good amount of room to pass by or slow down. The slow down guys are awesome. I always wave and say hello and thank you.
Those are the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the last guy fucking knocked the shit out of Matt Thayer and fucking sent him seaworthy out of his goddamn vessel. Like, what is wrong with people?
Dude, I can't believe that, man. Like, what would have happened? Worst case scenario, you're tooling by on your fucking wreck boat, right? And you cause a wake that causes somebody to go over, right? And sure, let's assume that they're not wearing a PFD and they fucking drown.
Yeah.
Like, is it one of these things where they're gonna, there's almost, I'd like to say that there's nothing anybody can do about that, because someone would have to see it and then track him down or know who he is. But it's like, what? Like, come on, you're fucking around and you're doing some shit that could have serious consequences for the people that you're affecting. Like life and death in some situations. And in other cases, it's like, sure, it's not nearly as severe, but it could be. You never know the whole deal. There was one thing that did happen that's kind of related. You said lake lice, and you reminded me of this. I've totally forgot about this. So I'm in the new truck, right? And I'm at a light, and I'm about to take a right. And up next to me, I pull up on the right, and I'm pulled up right up next to this pickup that has a trailer with 2 jet skis on it, right? And I pull up, and I drop my window, and the guy's looking at me, and I don't know. I think I had like my fishing sunglasses on and like a Hookset Hoodlums hat or something. And I look over, and I was like, putting those guys away for the winter? And he's like, oh, yeah, season's about done. I was like, good, leave them there. And I just took a right and took off. And I was like, I so badly wished I had the kayak on my trailer so that he'd be like, oh. But no, it was just me in the car. I was like, yeah, you should fucking leave them there.
Good.
Because I know exactly the marina that he was coming from.
Yeah, bury him in the fucking backyard.
They even drive like douchebags too. Man, fuck a jet ski.
I was out.
Fuck pontoon boats.
I was out. Where was I? I was at a bigger lake last week.
Yep.
And there was a guy in a jet ski out there. And you know what the worst part about jet skis now? And this this is going to go for motorcyclists too.
Yeah.
When did they start installing PA systems on these fucking things? A couple years ago, right?
Oh, I've never even heard that. No, like,
have you, dude? You heard one when we went to the show. When we went to the concert, we went to New Haven. There was motorcycles pulling up.
Oh, motorcycles! I've never heard that on a jet ski.
Oh, I hear it on jet skis constantly.
Oh, really?
So now, not only do you get someone who is possibly intoxicated and definitely an idiot whipping around on a jet ski at high speeds with no license, no laws, no common sense.
But now this moron's tooling around cranking up Nickelback or Five Finger Death Punch.
Better yet, this guy the other day. All right, this is great. I'm not even. This is definitely part of the fuck that guy segment, but I'm not going to say fuck that guy because I think I feel bad for him. I think this guy's really lonely. I think this guy wants some attention. I'm gonna give it to him because I feel so bad.
Oh God!
So this guy had a fucking high-end jet ski. This thing was the shiniest of the Lake Louses. This is a goddamn nice jet.
It's like Queen Louse,
dude. Big old speakers on this thing.
Really?
Absolutely blasting Journey. And the best part was he would stop. Right? He was ripping all the way across the lake. And he was slowing down for us, so I'll give him credit there. He was not being an asshole around the kayakers. There was myself and a couple other people were out there that I didn't know. But he stopped. And he would slowly turn around, and then he would wait for the music to pick up on the Journey. He wasn't listening to ballads. It was like some of their...
It was like Wheel in the Sky, like that?
Yeah, mid-speed stuff, you know? And as it gets going, dun, 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 whoa, you just go boom, like he was off the fucking starting line by himself.
What a tool.
He was racing. He was racing everybody.
Oh, what a moron.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But again, he was not part of the conversation we've been having. He was behaving well.
Yeah.
He just had some real mental issues that he was working out on the water.
Dude, that is rough, man.
Yeah.
Journey. Well, I didn't expect that at all. That's crazy. Oh. Yeah. So fuck that guy. That sucks, man. I feel bad for Matt. That freaking sucks.
I'm thinking about it now. It was either Journey or Foreigner. It might have been Foreigner. I'm trying to think. It was something early '80s, like AOR classic rock, and it was something like he had one guitar. Whoa, you know.
So he was jamming a Jukebox Hero.
That's
awesome.
I tried to like it was something AOR or something early '80s. Wow. But it was funny because he stopped, and I'm like, why is this guy stopping? What's he doing? I've been on the lakes where people have done just circles.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're 50 or 55-year-old man. You're out doing circles on a jet ski for no reason. Like, oh, okay, I'm impressed, I guess. I don't know. So this guy didn't do circles, but he stopped and he turned around and faced the wide open lake. And then he's waiting for the punch of whatever classic rock tune he was listening to. And
that's
great. Man, did he punch it? Yeah, he hit the fucking gas.
There was one guitar.
Whoa! You can see flames coming out of that fucking lake louse.
You think when it gets to the fall transition, he switches over to cold as ice?
Ooh.
You're as cold as ice.
What shitty tune are you going to put at the end of this week's show? Because
I don't know, because I'll tell you, man, my brain is just firing on all cylinders. I'm like, what polished, freaking, not even polished, what dusty turd do I want to throw here at the end? I don't know, man. I don't know. Good shit. Wow, that is so messed up. Are you ready to go ahead and talk about some of this chronic trips action that we've been dealing with?
I might be. I don't know. How do we follow up this last?
I don't know.
Bit of ridiculousness.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's go ahead and do it, guys.
There we go. My Dothraki wedding music.
Dothraki.
It's not a good wedding unless 3 people die.
It's true.
Well, no, you know what I'm talking about with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, good. All right. Week 2, chronic trips in the books. Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 3. You never believe this. I'm just going to start at the top. I mean, usually I start at the bottom and work my way up. We're going to do something a little different because, I mean, I have to keep presenting the same standings over and over again because Jerry House is just Jerry Multi-House. I mean, what do we do with him? Yeah. So he's up still at the top. He's got 20 points. Our own loaded potato, fishing report correspondent extraordinaire, 18 points, second place. Third place, Gravy Fishing, Welcome to the top 3, Mr. Graves. I love it.
Nice gravy. Good for you, dude.
Yeah, good for him. 4th place, Tim Jakes, fishing correspondent extraordinaire. And should we start calling him the coroner or what?
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
No, it's not. That's awful.
Oh. Tag him.
All right. Oh my God, tag him. Wow, shit got dark. 5th place, surprisingly not tied with anyone. Shags, our buddy Nate Shag.
Nice.
6th place, still owning the only saltwater submissions. Derek Ardioli from 3 Bells. Derek, good job. Scott Rhodes is tied with Derek at 8 points. I am lurking behind them at 7. And Hooked Up North, 5 points.
Nice.
Nelson's got 4, but that was as of yesterday. I believe he's made some more submissions today. And actually, come to think about it now, Josh from Hooked Up North also submitted a pike, so he's going to have some more points in there.
Nice.
And then rounding out the field is Blake Dodson with 2 points. Of the people that scored, we also have a couple folks that haven't put up any fish yet. And you know what? One of them I just want to go ahead and say, Lauren jumped in on this tournament from 3 Bells.
Lauren jumped in on this tournament.
Lauren, where's my fish submissions? I'm looking so forward to them, and I'm not getting any. I'm a little lonely here. We need some fish submissions.
We do.
Killing me. All right. So, still another week if you want to jump in.
Oh, yeah.
Registration is open for another week, and then we have another week after that. So we're at the midway point. Again, we have for both the Jigs and Bigs and Chronic Trips tournaments, we've limited the registration to the first 3 weeks of the month, and then that gives us time to attempt to get our shit together and get the prizes out within a reasonable amount of time. So
exactly.
we're trying, folks, and that's all I got this week. This is like a fill in the kind of like the checklist week. You know what I mean? Nobody put in any big submissions, but you'll see somebody who didn't have a perch. Bam, they got their perch. Somebody didn't have a crappie.
Yeah.
Bam, there's a crappie. Although I will say this: somebody turned in a 14-inch white perch. That was a big one. So
That's a big white perch.
yeah, I forgot who it was. A piece of shit. Maybe it was Scott Rhodes. I don't remember. But jump on in. It's fun. Jump on in. The water's fine. Come on. Well,
Yeah.
it's getting colder, but
I would recommend you guys jump in. I think next year I'm jumping back into 2022's Chronic Trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Game on.
I think so. I had a blast with the last Jigs and Bigs tournament, and I was really kind of like, there's nothing really going on for October. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Dude, you did really well in that last one, too. So
if I am
in.
able to, I have this plan regarding tournaments that I'm considering doing a monthly. Where I got to see what my time looks like in the kayak. If I'm able to get out, I'd like to try to get out at least twice a week before I make that commitment. And my plan is to incorporate one weekly, like early morning send, like I have in the kayak. But then I want to start taking it with me to one of my trivia nights, and I'll fish somewhere nearby. But one of the things that I've been doing with the Forerunner is I've been looking up like stealth camping, and I can sleep in the back of that. Like luckily I'm significantly shorter than you, but I can lay out in there and sleep very well. So I'm looking at like, an air mattress or something to kind of like pop in there so that I can crash. And if I'm going to do something like,
get that air mattress I have. Did we talk about that on air?
I don't think we talked about that on air. No, I don't think we did.
We never have?
I don't think so.
Well, should we talk about it?
Yeah, why not? Why not? You've kind of opened it up. Let's go ahead and do it.
All right. I was looking. I did a web search. This was years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I've had those Coleman air mattresses, which are fine if you're not using them very often, or if you don't have a bad back. Well, I fall into the latter of those two categories, and I went to the Googles like everyone else does to try and find a comfier air mattress. And I typed in most comfortable air mattress. And I got a review from, I don't know if it was I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember the source, but the gentleman who reviewed it was a homosexual man, which no big deal. Homosexual men camp too, right?
Yeah,
Camping is not restricted to heterosexuals. And the review he gave this air mattress was the review that he and his, I don't know if it was husband or boyfriend or whatever, they gave that mattress a workout.
Okay.
And said, this thing held up to us. And I said, that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
and
talk
I bought
about
that
a
air
ringing
mattress.
endorsement, man. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
all you want to do is sleep on the thing.
Yeah, they did a little more than sleeping on it. And that was good enough endorsement for me. That is the you remember the old commercials with the luggage when in the airport when it would go behind the luggage carousel and you'd see the giant ape beating the shit out of the luggage?
Yep.
Pretty sure that's what happened to that
that's
air
what was going down. Now, this air mattress that you use, is it one of those ones that like it's like the size of a full size mattress, like it blows up and it's huge?
Dude, no. It's
really?
extraordinarily thin. It's like little tiny chambers. It's incredibly comfortable. It's like so it folds in half the long way. So you can either like double up your cushioning or if you want to spread out. And I haven't noticed really a difference. Like it's insane.
Because that's interesting. Because what I've noticed is the floor isn't exactly flat. Where that threshold is, there's a little bit of a lip that comes up where the seats go. So what I'm going to be doing, and I found this is what's so cool about like Forerunner owners is like kayak anglers, they modify the shit out of stuff and then they share what they used and the dimensions for it, you know? So this is a 5th generation Forerunner. So there are dimensions for it's just basically a wooden platform, which I kind of want to use anyway to save the carpet in the back, because like the cart that I use for trivia and stuff, that's brutal on the carpet. You know what I mean? If that gets wet at all, it'll leave like rust stains and stuff. It's, you know, I'm trying to avoid that. But by putting this platform there, I can then have a level space, you know, and put it right up against that lip, and it should be good to go. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And, you know, if I do like larger camps where I'm not just crashing, where I want to, you know, set up like an outdoor kitchen and do all that stuff, I can carry all that stuff in there. I could use an easy up, and I could use, you know, my grill or stove or whatever, bring all that stuff out, unload it all, then sleep in the truck, and then go and go about my business. But that's kind of my thought. I was like, maybe I can work it so I can squeeze in an extra day and do a night send. And if it's not going to be something that's really nearby, when I get there, then maybe I'll sleep for a little while, or I'll fish at night, and then I'll crash for a few hours before I drive back home. Something like that, you know.
And the nice thing about that mattress I got too, aside from its dexterity, is the it's an auto inflate, auto deflate.
What's your experience been with that? Because I was concerned if like it was a little bit rough.
There's a tab. You just open it and it inflates that way. I don't know the dark magic behind the powers of this, but you open a tab, it inflates. When you're done with it, you open the other tab on the other side and it deflates. I have no idea how it works.
Do you plug it in?
No, there's no plugging it in. You open a tab. It's like so you know, like the nozzle on anything that you pump up, like a fucking beach ball.
You just open it and it starts sucking.
That's what it does.
Really?
You open it and it starts sucking. And you open the other one and it starts blowing.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Yep, we got to close the suck.
Yeah, you do. You got to close the suck for the blow. Gotcha. It's not just a flip of a switch.
Do you want to buy time for like 30 seconds? I have the thing down the hall. I can actually tell you what brand it is.
Go for it. Yeah.
Do a little dance or something. Hey, start your shuffle. The Jigs and Biggs shuffle. I'll be right back.
Guys, if you do any of this like stealth camping or anything when you're fishing, I'm interested to know about this, because this is something that it only recently kind of dawned on me to go ahead and utilize. There was no way in hell my fat ass was going to be able to sleep in the Escape. No way. It wasn't even on the radar. But this could happen, and I would love to do some missions where, hey, I finished trivia and I'm going to go fish with so-and-so in like Maine, or I'm going to go down to, Jersey or Maryland or something like that and fish in the morning. Well, this way I can drive all night, get there, crash for a couple hours, get up and fish. That's the plan. What do you got, Sean?
All right. It is an XPED, spelled EXPED.
Okay.
The model is the SIM, SIM. Comfort Duo 7.5 is what I have. I love this mattress. It's the best air mattress I've ever owned. Be aware, it is not fucking cheap. It is not the $100 or less Coleman at Target or Walmart. This you're going to pay for this, but it's worth every penny, especially if you have back pain and you like going outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
Or you and your lover of any persuasion want to go ahead and do what you got to do.
I've
right. Seen reviews.
These
this
are
thing can
not
handle
cheap.
it.
Yeah, these are not cheap. But if they do the job, man,
they're fucking awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing.
Yep.
That is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that, man, because it is. There's this one that I was looking at called a Sleep In Go. Yep. And it's got, well, I'm going to show you the picture right here. But when you said little chambers, I thought that's what you were talking about, was something like that.
That might be on the inside.
Yeah, maybe. That's interesting, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to check that out, though. It's something, I mean, it's one of those things where I just I figured I'd give it a shot. You know what I mean? And see how it goes. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the plan. But yeah, so anyway, that's where my head's at. I'm thinking about maybe signing up for like a monthly and just, trying it out. Like in that sense, like enter, hey, cool, let's see where I go with it, Because, I mean, you've seen how many bass I've been catching. That's my thing. You've been doing all right. Yeah. When it comes to bass, I have no problem catching bass. Smallmouth, largemouth, but.
Yeah, you know what I thought your logical next step with tournaments was going to be? Like, honestly? I thought you were going to try a one-day one somewhere, like a one-day bass tournament. At somewhere you have experience.
Yeah, and that's possible too. I mean, that is very possible. I was just considering, because I was looking at this last tournament, and it made me start thinking. I was like, it's a shame that I caught so many bass that did no good. Like they didn't really help at all necessarily. But I was going out and specifically not targeting them, and that's what I was catching. And there was a lot of fish that I brought in that were just like a lateral move, where it was like, okay, so this can't really knock anything out anywhere. I'm not really getting it. But I mean, even look at the NE5, it was like, that's kind of how I look at it. I'm like, well, if that's what it was, if it was not even NE5, but just 5 biggest bass in a monthly, yeah, let's give it a shot. Fuck it. Try it.
There would be 2, for this year, and we were still working on the schedule for next year, but there would be 2 MAKB Western Division tournaments I might even recommend if you wanted to try a one day for something different.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely be down with it. I mean, it definitely helps now, like, being comfortable in the new boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a huge difference.
The 2 I would recommend, and for completely different reasons, would be if we do the 57 run again.
Yep.
Where we go up through 57, you can pick.
Oh, yeah, I can pick where I want.
There's a number of ponds that you fished at. You'd be able to pick your comfortable one, right? The other one I would suggest is, because we all had such a good time, everybody caught a limit, and it was close up until the last second, was up in Cheshire if we do that again.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That
wasn't one person. Well, one person did run away with it with a couple of decent fish, but everybody was in it.
Yeah,
those are fun. Where
exactly.
At 7:30 in the morning, you're not fucking knocked dead. It's just like, okay, I'll get on those fish.
I'll be honest with you too. Like, I would love to do a catch 'em all type, type event. I think that would be a whole lot of fun.
Fuck, dude, you can do that with me on the 30th.
Yeah,
there's a catch 'em all fall brawl for MAKB. I'm jumping in on that. I'm actually going to. Well, I'm not gonna. I'll tell you off air where I'm going. But yeah, I mean, I already have my place planned out to fish. So
there you go. Oh, yeah, that's right, because that's not one body of water. That's wherever you want to fish.
No, it is one body of water.
Oh, it is.
But I know where I know where I'm going. I'm gonna. I have faith in it. It's a matter of hitting it right, and I think I'll do okay. But we'll talk about it off air because it's adventure time.
It's adventure time. I like that. I can get behind that. Guys, that does it for segment 2. We're going to take a real quick break. When we get back, I have the one and only George Costa on the show. George and I get into it. We talk about a lot of good stuff, and we're going to get out and do some fishing. If it doesn't happen this fall, it's definitely happening in the spring. We're going to get out his way and do a little bit of fishing, and then we're going to make that trip to Max happen as well. That's got to happen. Max Seafood. Yes,
sir.
We do. We definitely do. So, guys, sit tight. We'll be back with more Jigs and Bigs right after this quick message. Jigs and Bigs is proud to announce that we're being supported by Three Bells Outfitters. Located in Smith Cove on the Niantic River, TBO is Connecticut's premier paddle sports retailer. They're a full-service shop specializing in kayaks and paddleboards for everything from recreation to tournament fishing. Three Bells is an authorized dealer of Hobie, Jackson, Feel Free, Native, and Bonafide kayaks, as well as many paddleboard brands. Not sure of what kind of SUP or kayak you want? TBO offers free demos of all brands. Want to go for an extended test drive? They have a full-service rental facility on site. Three Bells also offers a complete rigging service for your kayak with such brands as Yak Attack, Yak Gear, Burley Pro, Yak Power, Torpedo, and more. The sky is the limit. You can visit Three Bells Outfitters in person or online at threebellsoutfitters.com. They ship anywhere in the lower 48 states or order online and pick up at the store. Can't make it to the store to pick up your kayak or worried the freight company might damage your purchase? Three Bells Outfitters offers a white glove delivery of kayaks within a 225-mile radius of their store at a rate less than typical freight carriers. They will deliver your kayak, set it up, and answer any questions you may have. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Don't forget to tell them Jigs and Bigs sent you. Three Bells Outfitters, because life is better on the water. Hey, what's up, guys? Bobby Roast Beef here. We got another guest in the beef seat this week in our interview segment. We've got George Costa here with us. Now, George is he's one of those listeners that had contacted me a few months ago, and he had mentioned that he had gone. What a lot of listeners will do is they'll dive in at episode 1 and kind of get going and going and going. And I remember one point where he said to me, he's like, "I really hope you get that kayak, man, that you've been focusing on getting into and getting off the bank and all this other stuff." And then I could tell when he got to the episode where I announced that I did get my first kayak, and I was very, very excited about that moment, and so was he when he listened to that. So, George, how you doing, dude? How are things?
Oh, good, brother. Couldn't
Awesome,
be better, man.
Good, very, very good. Are you caught up on all the episodes yet? There's a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm up to date. I've been up to date for a while.
Nice. That's awesome, man. So, the cornerstone of this show from the very beginning has really always been about sharing fishing stories, getting to know other anglers and different ways that folks like to fish. Just from our, short interactions here and there, like on Instagram, we've talked a lot about how you primarily fish at night for the most part, almost exclusively, right?
Yeah, it's the only time I really can find time for fishing.
It's funny.
I'm at night.
After my last night fishing go with Sean the Fisherman, I decided next summer to make sure that I'm able to get at least 2 kayak trips a week in. One of those is going to be after I'm done hosting my trivia event. I'll go out and fish until sunup or as late as I can make it, and then get some time in that way. But let's go ahead and dive right in. Find out. Tell me a little bit about how you discovered fishing. How did it come to you? Who introduced you to it? And how did we get to the point where you learned about it to where, here you are now, you're killing it out there? Like, tell me about how we got from point A to point Z.
Yeah, so I'm a Rona rookie, man. I'm a Corona rookie.
Yep.
We bought a house and Corona happened, and I had some time to kill, and we'd live right near a little river that had some brackish water, and I'm like, you know what? I see people fishing down there. I'm going to grab a rod and just head down the river.
That's awesome, man.
And, I just went to Walmart. I had no idea what I was doing. I haven't picked up a rod since I was 12, 14 years old. Who knows? And I grab a rod. I call one of my buddies I was into fishing. I'm like, hey, what do I get? And
Nice.
he's like, just a light rod. I end up grabbing a deep sea rod. I tried
all
to throw
right.
a spinning reel on it. The guy stopped me. He goes, what are you going for, man? And I said, oh, I'm just going down a little freshwater spot. And he said, oh, you got the wrong stuff. You got to get this. So I grabbed one of the last rods that was left he had, and
Mm-hmm.
I just went down the river with the Senko and started blasting away.
That's awesome, man. And that's not an uncommon story. We hear it a lot. I mean, the statistics of the amount of fishing licenses sold in 2020 versus 2019. There was a huge amount of new anglers getting out there for the first time, or getting out there and they haven't been out in, a lifetime almost. It just kind of comes with the territory. So like the industry right now is blowing up. There's so many people who are in the outdoors that haven't been previously, and so many people are like growing as anglers so unbelievably quickly because we have these amazing resources available now. Let's talk about, as far as like, for George, what are the favorite seasons to be out fishing, like for the creature comforts?
I like just being out there in the dark. I'm out there at night, and like I said, I just started, so I picked it up like June last year, and I love fishing in the fall because I like being chilly. I like being on the water.
Yep.
And it was just a cool time. It got dark early. I put my little girls to bed, and I'd be beating that bank.
That's awesome, man.
And yeah. So fall's pretty cool, and the spring was fun. I enjoyed that, but I'm looking forward to really right now.
That's awesome, man. What, as far as like weather conditions go for you, where's your threshold? Like, what's the weather condition you're just not going to deal with, and it'll make you decide to call it?
Well, thank God I listened to your show, because the lightning, you guys always said lightning.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was out there one time. I tried to get out before a storm because I noticed that's when fish were biting a little bit. So I went out before a storm, and the lightning scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
I was done. I saw that one bolt close, and I said, I'm out. Pack it up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Are you primarily fishing from the bank, or are you out on the water on some kind of a vessel?
Yeah, no, I was on the bank to start. I got a kayak. I put a Newport vessel motor on the back of it.
Oh, nice.
And I was scooting around, and then that, standing up was a task at some point. So
sure.
I gravitated to a little John boat, and I'm cranking around.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Good for you. Now, as far as like different types of bodies of water, you mentioned that you got started on a river. Are you primarily looking for current, or, do you like to go and make a day out of just pond hopping?
I love the smaller ponds. I started out on this little river that, had some moving water, and, that was pretty, I think it was like training with weights, because when I went to a still pond, it was a totally different experience.
Oh, yeah.
If you play in the wind, I like a little wind. The dead calm days on the small pond didn't seem to stir up much action, but
a little bit of wind is always helpful,
Yeah.
Just a little bit. There's a very, very fine line where all of a sudden it becomes, okay, this is a bit much. Let's ease up here.
Yeah, that I felt that 15, 16, 17 mile an hour winds.
Oh my God.
My little anchor was not holding me, and that was enough.
No. I definitely believe it. As far as confidence baits go, what's your short list look like as far as things that you generally feel like you can go to and throw and get a bite?
There's one bait that I have. So I'm a swim bait guy.
Yep.
And but I listen to you guys because it gets some great tips. But there's a bait called the G2 shell cracker.
Oh, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, and that little bait, it will do anything you want. I can throw it in some brush. I can throw it in some pads. I can crank it. I can wake it. I can do a lot with it, and that's my go-to right there.
That's awesome. G2 shell cracker. You heard it here, guys.
That's the one.
Nice. Now, the story. I have this This was like one of the first questions I ever came up with. It was about, fishing tackle and that saying that the tackle catches more fishermen than it actually catches fish. In your opinion, being out there, what have you found that's just like the most ridiculous trend?
So yeah, it's starting off quick. All those things grab me on Instagram. I see worms and all kinds of crazy things. But
Mm-hmm.
I was in my local tackle shop and I saw the spider.
Oh yeah,
And I got the spider.
yeah. We got a couple
It
of
got
those
me
floating around
'cause-
the office.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got the spider, and I've never caught a fish on it,
Yeah.
but I've had a couple whacks at it, and I don't know. It caught me. It got my attention. I thought it would work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's nuts. It's there's a time and a place for every bait. I mean, there really is.
Yeah.
But it's like I get it. Like those are I forget who the guest was. Somebody said like they're never going to be on a spider pattern or they're never going to be on a rat pattern or something about that along those lines. But I'm like, it's not always about what we perceive them to be necessarily. Like maybe you just need that lighter, delicate topwater. If they're hitting topwater, but like, a big walking bait or something isn't doing it and you can't downsize that way. You want to put something a little bit smaller profile, it might be the way to do it. But yeah, I definitely get it. Like the crazy, super realistic shapes, they're definitely there to kind of reel you in. Was it Lunker Hunt did the spider? They also did a cicada.
Yeah, I get the Lunker Hunt spider.
Which blows my mind.
I'm like, I want to catch a fish on it so bad.
Sure.
But it's more there just to. I have it in my little bait box here, and it's I'm not going to take that thing out. It's good for show and tell.
Yeah, hang on to it when you're like, save it for the next day. You're just out junk fishing, and you're like, I don't know, we'll try this.
Yeah. But you mentioned rats. Mentioned rats. Rats are one of my go-tos right there.
Yeah, I love them.
You mentioned the Spro one a couple times. That's my smallest one. I have one that's 3 pieces, about 9 inches long that just gets smashed.
Just gets hammered. Yeah.
PB rat.
No kidding. Yeah,
It's called the PB rat.
I'm going to have to look around at some of those. I mean, like that style of bait is a wake bait. Like, and it's just, I mean, especially the Spro one. I don't know about the other ones like you're talking about, but it just knocks so well. Makes such a great sound. So, I mean, sometimes that's kind of what they want. I have caught, there have been plenty of days I've thrown the BBZ rat and I've gotten no bites on it whatsoever. But when I've caught fish, they've generally been of pretty decent quality.
That's it.
Little ones will hit it. I mean, I've had that happen too, but yeah, it's pretty bananas.
I think the little ones get mad at it. They hear that thing going by, they hear that
could
knocking.
Be it.
And they just get pissed at it.
Yep.
It's a violent bite, and
Yep.
like remember, I'm at night.
Yeah.
It's pitch black, 10 feet from you. Splash!
And
It's it's crazy.
That's a really good point. Like something like that at night, I've very rarely had someone had a fish, take a swing at it and miss it. And I think actually there's only 1 or 2 times where that's ever happened where I missed them, where I wasn't able to hook them because those hooks are huge. They're
huge.
gonna get them. They're gonna get them. It's just it's awesome. So like something at night, that might be one of the reasons why I think that is such a good producer because the odds are hookup ratio is so much higher.
Yeah. And one of them big hooks you're talking about, I had one of those right through my thumb. I don't know if you saw the picture.
Oh, it was on the rat?
Oh,
that sucks.
It wasn't a rat, but it was a wake bait, and that treble hook was right in my thumb.
That sucks.
And I had to push that baby through.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to push it through, and my little snippers weren't strong enough to cut the hook.
That's right. Yeah, now I remember you sending me the message.
Yeah, I asked you guys. I'm like, all right,
that's right.
That night, I messaged you guys. I'm like, what snaps the hooks? And I ended up going to the hardware store the next day. And
bolt cutters.
I know you guys are about safety, so if you go fishing without something that can't cut your hooks, you're crazy in my mind right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. Last time I got hooked, it was it still has me a little bit gun shy anytime I'm using trebles. There's so many points, you know. So now I've gotten it to the point where what I'll do is I usually keep a pair of fish grips around for anything that's really toothy. You know, bowfin or pickerel or pike or anything like that. So what I'll do is when I get them in the boat and they're in the net, I'll throw the grips on, and then I take my pliers, I remove the hooks, undo the grip, and then I grab the fish.
It's smart. Yeah, I went right for it. I said, this one's a little feisty, but I went to go grab it by the mouth, and man, it shook and it went right in.
Yeah.
And that's a feeling I never wish upon anybody.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Holy crap. Yeah, oh my God, I can only imagine. Now let's, as far as, you spend a good day out fishing, especially fishing at night. I don't know how if you get a bunch of people to go with you or anything like that, but when I've always said that like a shitty day of fishing can be made an amazing outing if you're with the right folks. You could get skunked, and it's a little bit better if you've been laughing and joking around,
Yeah.
What would be like your top 3 people that you want to fish with?
The first one, it's the guy that got me into this whole crazy thing that I'm doing right now.
Yep.
And his name's Nick Vos. He got me into this. We call him Jerry. His name's Jerry in my mind, but this dude, I lived with him for many years, and we have those just good belly laughs out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just that kid. He's my boy, and I'll go fishing with him. And I love to fish with him all the time.
That's awesome.
The second one is probably one no one's ever said, but is be my wife.
Oh yeah, I think that's a great idea, man.
Dude, I have tried to get my wife out to go fish with me so many times.
Yeah.
She won't. And I think it'd be just cool to go out there with my bride. She won't go out there, though, one of these days.
I go through the same shit with my wife. Once this summer, we went out fishing. And I know exactly what it's going to be. I just have to get her out there that one day where we're catching them.
Yeah, not even catching them. Just come on the little boat with me.
Yep.
Come on the water. Let me show you what I do.
Yeah.
You don't have to. She just won't do it.
Not interested. Yeah, that's the thing.
Not interested.
I can get my wife to come out with me, but those are short trips where there's not much walking or anything like that. Next year, I'm hoping I can get her on my old kayak. Or what am I saying? No. I'm going to send her out in the Titan, and I'll take my old kayak, and that way, she can kind of get that experience. Like, all I got to do is just get her on some fish. And once that's
you've already done it.
Yeah.
You've already got her out on the water.
I've got her out there.
Near the water.
Yeah, I've gotten it. She's close. She's close. But, yeah. Because I do.
You're on the right track, brother.
I think she might, it might be a life changer for her. She might, who knows? I get her throwing a bait caster. Who knows?
Be careful. You never know.
I know. What about your third one? Who else do you think you'd want to bring?
The third one. It'd probably be anybody that thinks this big baits and throwing crazy stuff like this is crazy. I'd love to take any conventional guy out there that totally believes in it and has never tried it before.
Yeah.
I would love to just show you what it's about.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, that's
a lot of people are against it. It's weird.
I don't even know if it's necessarily that people are necessarily against it, but I will say this, like when it comes to big swim baits, the principles are there, the theories are there, it all makes sense. But the reality of it is like you're looking for big fish. You're not necessarily going to do numbers. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like that's ultimately I get the joys in the chase, but it's like it's the same thing. Like I like to fish a lot of finesse stuff. I'm just confident with it. But, it's like there are people who just won't, like Sean the Fisherman, throw a drop shot to save their life. You know what I mean? They just won't do it. But it's just like, there's folks that they like what they like, Like I love when I talk with people and they're just like, oh yeah, power fishing all day. I'm going to throw a chatterbait no matter what, And it's as long as you're happy doing it and you've got confidence doing it, ultimately that's all that matters. But
that's right.
There is a theory to that big bait business. There 100% is, but like, it's also very hard to be like, if you're a competitive angler, it's very hard to rely on that because are you going to get enough bites to get a limit?
Well, some of these bait makers
Yeah.
just make baits for competitive fishing. Some haven't been released. They're big baits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of these makers have, one of my trusted ones is Defcon.
Mhm.
Rich LeBlanc makes Defcon lures, and it's a broomstick. My favorite one's about 9 inches long.
Yep.
Maybe not even that long, and it will catch everything. And he's got a bunch of killer baits that some of these guys use.
I got it was Matt Thayer from Klondike Custom Creations has a little care package that he said he's sending out to Sean and myself, and I'm excited to see what he has in there because he does a lot of like classic, like almost like jitterbug style baits. As
some
well
crawlers.
And he does, exactly. And I think I'm just excited. I like that though. There's different strokes for different folks. I like trying new stuff. I was explaining to Sean, we were having a conversation. I said, I'm the guy who might catch 2 or 3 on a presentation and say, well, let's switch it up just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Because for me, there's like a part of it where it's like, can I throw a kink in it and still catch fish?
Oh, easily.
That's
what, when he says like my brand of bullshit.
Yep.
See, these fish have never seen my brand of bullshit because I'm new.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing crazy stuff at them. I just made a bait. That
really?
rat. Yeah.
Nice.
And took apart another bait, put some hooks on it. There's actually a golf ball hanging from the end of it to hold it on the top of the water. And
really?
I got smashed on it a couple times. I didn't set the hook. I was so excited.
Holy crap.
But yeah, I'll send you a picture of it. It's the stupidest looking thing you ever see, but they hit it.
Yeah. I mean, it'll work. As far as when you're getting out there, like what do you like to listen to either while you're on the water fishing or just to get hyped up on the way to spend a session out at the water?
Oh, I listen to everything, man.
Yeah.
I listen to you guys on the way. I listen to, I'm 37. So I grew up in that hard rock era.
Yep.
I love anything Metallica, Korn, all that old stuff, that 90s stuff. I like classic rock. I listen to a lot of new rap. I dabble with anything besides like new country.
Yeah.
The old country.
Pop
Johnny
with fiddles.
Cash, I feel that.
Yeah.
But,
oh my God, absolutely. There is nothing better than a little like Dwight Yoakam. You know what I'm saying? It's great. It's great. His guitar tone is insane. But somebody once had told me like, oh yeah, the contemporary country now, and I was like, yeah, pop with fiddles.
Right. But like I'll put the little earpod in and I'll be walking in the middle of the night to a pond that probably has never seen a swim bait before in the dark, listen to Pantera Walk.
Nice.
So
that's definitely one way to get pumped up, man, for sure.
Well, you have to do something.
Oh, now
it's scary out there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is, man. It's either that or talk to yourself. Now, ultimately, like, what's your goal for fishing? Being like you said, like a pandemic rookie, like a newbie from the COVID era. Like, where do you want to see this go? Do you want to take it down the bait making road? Do you want to dip your toe into competitive angling? Are you looking at content creation and doing stuff like that? Like, what's your path?
Yeah, I just keep pushing myself to the next level. Like I just keep. I started with the worms. I went to a little crawler. I said, you know what? I want a 5-pound bass.
Yep.
I think that'd be pretty cool. That was a goal for a long time. And then I started catching a bunch of fish. I tried chronic strips. That's where I found you guys, and I'm like, yeah, let me try chronic trip and see what I'm about. Oh, and I was getting DQ'd like crazy.
Oh my God, man!
Pitches. Oh,
me too. Me too.
Oh, I had more DQs than I had fish that count.
I think I actually remember Sean.
It was brutal.
Telling me he's just like, I feel terrible. I have to tell this poor guy like all these fish he entered, for one reason or another weren't qualifying. But
it was tough. One thing after I had the lip gripper on a 27-inch pickerel.
Yep.
And the lip gripper was in the way, and he pointed it out, and I was like, "Yep, I see what you mean. I'm sorry. I'll be better."
That's I
And,
remember he told me that. He's like,
I
I wish I could hear that from all the competitors. Like content, like, okay, I'll fix it. I'll do it better next time. I'm like, oh my god, yeah.
So then you guys are talking about jerk baits one episode. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get one of those. I had no idea what the hell the thing was. I go out, I get a jerk bait. I start hitting that brackish water, and there was a holdover striper, 32 inches.
Dude.
So my catch board was only 26 and a half or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the tail flopping over. I don't have another tape measure on me. I thought that'd be it.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't believe it. I caught it on a really light rod. And that felt like I was hooked onto a car or something. It's crazy.
I believe it, man. And the thing is, I love jerkbait fishing. I really do. I was watching something recently about jerkbait fishing. I think it was on Tactical Bassin actually, and there's like the thing that makes a jerkbait so unique is there like it isn't just like a reaction. It's because of that pause, like.
It's in the pause.
Yeah, it really, really is. Like that erratic action is one thing, and with warmer temperatures and stuff, you got to really get that thing working. But I just love the style of fishing when it comes to jerkbaits. I like the
jerkbait.
Yeah, I caught my PB this year on a jerkbait, and it was
nice,
absolutely amazing. I mean, I could not believe that. Now, I'll never forget that moment. That is absolutely massive.
Nice.
Have you traveled anywhere, and I like to say like crossing state lines or like more than a couple hours away exclusively to go fishing?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
But I've traveled like hours in my own town to find ponds.
Oh, well, yeah. The
driving
quest
around
for water.
trying to access places I see on Google. And,
yep.
That's been interesting.
And that can actually, we should just do an episode on that because I'll tell you, like the pond hoppers lament. That's what that is right there. You find a spot and then you're like, okay, let me make sure there's no fences or signs or, does anything seem like I can't go on this body of water for one reason or another? And then, that would be something pretty, because it can be soul crushing. You've got a list of places you want to go check out. And if none of them line up, like if they're a private property or you get kicked out or whatever, it's like you're just like, I wasted so much time.
Oh, you should see my Google Maps. I get pins all over the place. I'm that idiot in the Subaru driving around the pitch dark with a John boat hanging out the back.
Yep.
Looking for a place to get into a pond.
Oh yeah. What would your goal be for fishing, say in the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. I just have fun. I want to teach kids. Like, there's kids down by the river where I fish, and there's friends that I want the kids to get into it. I think it's pretty cool. But myself, I just do it for fun and meeting a lot of cool people and making connections, and that's it. I just want to keep building. Obviously getting the biggest fish you want, but
for sure,
I want to expose as many people as I can to this because it's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the best things about fishing is the community. Like some of the people that we've met has been absolutely amazing, and all of it actually is due to this show and the engagement back and forth with listeners and different creators and bait makers, you name it. I mean, even tournament anglers like we've managed to connect with all over the place. It's been absolutely amazing, and generally speaking, I think, anglers of any stripe, quality people. I don't know, we're all different, there's just something about us.
I traded baits with the guy that I met, and I said, hey, you want this one? I want that one, whatever.
Yep.
And I told him I didn't have a glide bait, and he sent me a glide bait just because he knew I didn't have one.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I'm like, come on, man, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And he's like, amazing. Pass it on, pass it forward. That's all he said.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. And I'll tell you, like fishing with kids is tough, but so rewarding. Like especially when all you want to do is catch fish. Like fishing.
All I wanted to do.
Yeah. And it's like for kids,
3-year-old out.
Yeah.
On my little boat, and we went out and we didn't catch anything. I even had worms too.
Yeah.
And we didn't catch a single thing. I felt like less of a man. And we got in the car and I said, well, we got skunks, Dottie. And she goes, we got skunks. She had blast.
That's the whole thing,
Yeah.
I've been saying forever I want to do an episode. Maybe it'll be a Just the Tip segment where it's fishing with children, like how to get them into fishing and approach it the right way. Like I've got plans for rigs that are great for kids, absolutely great for kids. But yeah.
Well, my buddy told me a kind of cool thing is he has a kid himself, my buddy Jerry, and he goes, make a treasure hunt. So we said, okay, I knew where we were going.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, there's an island. We're going to go around the other side and find the treasure. And it was cool. She had a blast.
That's cool, man. Yeah, you can put a little different spin on it and kind of keep them a little bit more engaged. So that way, like if it is slow, and it can be slow, there's something going on there. Oh,
that's
man.
right.
Yeah. Generally speaking, like, what is your typical rod and reel arsenal like that you're bringing out for like your average regular kind of day?
So my regular day, I got like a F5 is my rod brand I like.
Okay.
It's a heavy duty rod. There's a 8-foot is my heaviest rod.
Yep.
And that one has a Komodo SS reel on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 6-4-1.
Yep.
I get 20-pound on there all the time because
Yeah.
I got a couple $100 bait on the end of it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, you want to
hold it on.
Exactly. That's the other thing too. Like you've got if you're throwing baits that have a price tag like that, what do you do when you get hung up? Because we just did an episode that's actually going to drop about losing lures.
Oh yeah. I've lost many.
How do you
when you just deal with it? It's a tool to me. One of those rats I told you about, it's $140. And right now it's up in a tree and I know exactly where it is, but I'm throwing it around in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And that thing is up in a tree and I need my snippers to go get it.
Oh yeah. Lost gear.
Oh, that's a whole nother episode.
It's the worst.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It really is. Like lost gear, whether like you're dropping something off a boat or and especially like night fishing. When I was out with Sean, I don't know, like I usually don't say like one smartphone is better than another or anything, but I'll tell you what, man, Apple is holding on great. I last winter I upgraded my old iPhone to the iPhone 11, and when I was out fishing with Sean, we were night fishing. I have a leash for my phone that's by Rogue. So the leash goes around, it straps around the corners of the phone. And usually what I do, I have a handle right off to my right-hand side, which is a perfect size for me to just leave my phone. And this way, because we were in the tournament, I needed my phone there so I could take pictures and, enter fish. So I'm like, okay, go ahead and we'll just leave this here. It'll be fine. Well, apparently on my way back, the weeds were really bad in this one body of water. And on my way back, I had to lift up the pedals, lift up the prop, and then paddle the rest of the way in. And I must have bumped it and not realized it, and it fell into the water. And thank God it was on the leash, But it took us about 30 minutes to get back from where we were, going at like a snail's pace through all these weeds and navigating back to the launch. When we got back there, I looked over and I was, kind of getting my stuff prepped before I got out of the kayak and then, pulled it up on the bank. And I look over, I was like, where the hell is my phone? So I follow the leash and I'm pulling it up and it is just totally submerged the entire time, just dangling in the water. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to be able to charge this for a while because what'll happen is water will get in there and it's the littlest amount of moisture gets in the battery port. And forget it. The charging port wants nothing to do with it. Luckily, I had almost a full battery still. And so I took the phone, threw it in my pocket, got back in the car, was like, we'll see what happens. Not a single problem. Nothing at all.
No rice? You didn't throw it in some
No,
rice?
I didn't throw it in. Well, the iPhone's like waterproof to like 30 feet or something like that.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah,
that's what I'm on right now.
I dumped my my iPhone 7 The first time I dumped my first kayak, and it took a bath, and I was like, it's done, but this phone doesn't owe me anything. I've had it for years. I'm like, it's done. It's never going to bounce back from that. I didn't think that even the 7 had any water resistance at all. It does. It worked for like another 6 months before I replaced this. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you got to be shitting me. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's just one of those things. What about like a destination or a dream trip that you would love to go on?
Oh man, all them boys down south catching big fish.
Yeah, they do.
I see some big fish down there.
Yeah.
Mexico. I'd love to go on a trip with my buddies.
Yeah.
And even a charter or something. Check it out.
Oh yeah.
Have somebody show you around.
I would say honestly, like grab your gear, put it together, find a guide at one of these like major fisheries and make a day of it and go for it. I mean, it was I can't say enough good about, going out with a guide who knows that body of water, has put the time into it, and they can get you on some great fish, if not breaking records. It's like it's a good thing. It's well worth it. Take the trip, man. I think it'd be
a cool thing. You got to do it.
Yep.
But aside from just New England, Cape Cod, I'm in Plymouth. So what's cool about Plymouth is you can fish a different pond every day and still not fish them all.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have a lot of water out that way. That's just
incredible
awesome.
How many ponds.
Yeah. I know that Sean will often get out there basically very early in the year because, the water warms up much quicker out that way than it does up here in Western Mass, and especially in the Berkshires. They'll keep ice for quite a while. But out that way, it's like, there's all these, and I remember we had gone fishing out that way in February, and just going from spot to spot, fishing from the bank, and I couldn't believe all these other spots out there. And they get what is the herring runs that helps. You guys get some good fish.
Run.
Yeah, you
find a herring run. There's a bass sitting there waiting.
Oh yeah. That's like the lunch cart. They're like, let's eat. Oh, absolutely. But that's the thing. It's like you get a different. Although that's actually something I hadn't thought about. Like the southern guys, there are some really big bass there, but in the Cape, there's some great bass because they've got the food, to support them.
That's
right. They've got
that's
the forage.
What it's all about. Yeah, for me, I'm looking for that nice lazy little meal. It's a lot like it's like an experienced woman, that big bass.
Yeah.
She doesn't want something
She's not
just
gonna fall
fast, tickling by her. She wants something nice and slow and big, and that's what she likes.
Enough payoff for the work to go and catch it.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's what works for me. I do a little twitch on a big bait.
Mm-hmm.
They smash it. It's great.
So I haven't asked this question in a long time, but aside from actually going out and fishing or buying any kind of new gear or anything like that, how has fishing made itself a part of your like everyday lifestyle?
Oh, I wasn't expecting that question.
Yeah.
I've been so everyday lifestyle. I look by every body of water that I see now.
Oh yeah.
And I wonder if there's a fish in there. But most importantly, I think I'm a lot nicer person.
Yeah,
I see a lot of fishermen they're nice people. They have a lot of gratitude, and it's made me calm down and relax and respect, and a nicer person from it.
That's pretty cool. Maybe it's the connection in nature. I don't know, but I can definitely kind of see that.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's made me kind of chill out. That's what I needed.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. So you know the deal, George. This show started with a simple question, 2 stories. We need to know, like that epic win. We got to know, what is the moment you're most proud of on the water? And then the follow-up to that, your best type story.
All right. So the best one was I've been wanting a 5-pounder for a long time.
Yep.
I'm a grinder. I go hard. I'm at night. I go when my wife doesn't want me to go. I go when I don't even want to go.
Yep.
But I wanted that 5. So I went out to my little spot that I like to go to, and I tossed it around for a little bit, and I got it. And that fish, just holding that fish, I sat there for so long and just really just took in the whole experience.
Yep.
I got my 5. It was a 5'10". I got a 5'9" on video because I thought I pressed the the record button.
Yep.
But I didn't. And my scale said 5'9", and I sat there and I was so happy to get that PB, that one I've always wanted, going out till 2 a.m. to try to get it.
Oh, yeah.
And I got it.
What'd you catch it on?
So it was on a DEF CON broomstick.
Nice.
Yeah, it was big wake bait. I started cranking it down and it just smashed it. And
awesome.
Obviously at night. And I sat there after I caught it. I let it swim away. I got a nice little swim away video.
Yep.
And I sat there in the middle of the pond with my boat and I just took it all in. It was an unbelievable feeling.
Oh yeah. That's awesome, dude. Good for you. That's huge.
Yeah. So the biggest would probably be that time that hooked my thumb.
That'll do it.
That would be the time, man.
Yeah, that'll do it, yeah.
Because that fish was the one that would have catapulted me to the top of this tournament I was in.
Oh.
And and that fish was an ounce short, and I got hooked, and it was an ounce short. I could have punched that fish right in the face. But I have too much respect for him. I couldn't.
For sure. That. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I let it swim away gently.
Oh man, that does suck. It does.
But all those DQ'd fish,
that
was a want, but I learned from all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I took it in stride, and I took something good from a really shitty time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. As long as you can do that, walk away like growing or learning from whatever the experience, that's awesome. When you got hooked, was the other hook still connected to the fish? Did you guys have that intimate moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was.
Isn't it magic?
We were one.
Yeah. I had that. I looked at this little yellow perch and I'm like, do you hear that? It's the Spice Girls in the background. The hell is this?
That was the most intimate I ever got with the fish.
Yeah, it's there is every single like twitch that they make, you feel in your nerves. It's the worst feeling ever. Yeah.
It was like, what do you do? I had to get the fish off.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It's terrible, man. Awesome, George. This was really great. Do me a favor. This is your opportunity. Let people know where they can find you on Instagram. If you have any kind of media that you kind of want to promote, this is a good opportunity. Go ahead and do it.
All right. Thanks, man. My Instagram is swimbait508. So swimbait508, that's my fishing page because my wife was sick and tired of my fishing posts. But all my boys are Legendary Largies. So if you check out Legendary Largies on Instagram, you're going to see a lot of dudes catching some big fish all the time. Cause
that's awesome.
We're grinders, and we just like to meet good people and have some fun fishing.
That is freaking awesome, man. Nice. Well,
brother.
George, this was great, man. Glad we finally got to have you on. Your episode this will be on next week's episode. So I guess the 19th.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that'll be on the 19th. Do me a favor, man. If you have a picture that you just love holding a giant, send it over to me and I'll use it for the artwork for that episode.
I appreciate it, man. It was good to connect with you.
Absolutely, dude.
See a beautiful mug. That beard's looking good, too.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. We're going to get out. We'll do some fishing, man, for sure.
Dude, you come down to Plymouth sometime.
Hell yeah.
Sean, I would love to show you around. I got some spots.
I'm all about it, man. I'm all about it.
All right, brother.
All right, dude. You have a good one. Take care of yourself. We'll talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
All
man.
right. See you, man. Bye-bye. Yep, that's about going to do it for us for this whole episode of Jigs and Bigs. This episode started off rocky. Like, you know, what you guys are hearing, if you made it this far, I want to go ahead and explain exactly what you're hearing. What you're hearing is essentially an entire take two, because our commentary about the internet going to shit fucked this show up bad. It was a mess. So we just abandoned the live stream because it seemed to be that's where the things were falling apart. And we're going to have to work on that shit and get things together. But we're back, and we're wrapping up the show, and I think we did a great job. You know, I do. I think we did a fantastic job.
We fucking pulled our socks up.
We did. The socks are pulled up. I mean, they're basically at my throat right now. Like, I got sock level right here. It's in.
I'm tall. I got a warm taint now from socks.
There you go. Got taint highs. Nice.
Gross. Yep.
Party on. It was a great interview with George. Really excited to get out there and get some fish with him. Guys, we have so much more good stuff coming. You know, like I said, Sean and we had a meeting earlier this week. We have been talking about some stuff that we're working on that is like top secret for now. Once we get some stuff together, we're definitely going to need some of you guys to help and do some testing and figure all this shit out and make it all work. So we're gonna be reaching out to you guys, especially our jig heads, because you guys are amazing. Our jig heads, we love you guys. And if you'd like to become a jig head, you can do so by simply joining our Patreon, subscribing over there. $5 a month. That's the only subscription we've got right now. You can go ahead and sign yourself up, and you get some early access, you get some bonuses, and occasionally we pepper in there like a special discount code for something cool every once in a while. So go ahead, check that stuff out, guys. It's fall, y'all. It's starting. We're getting those cold water temperatures, and the at least in Western Massachusetts. I know other parts of the country are already dealing with this. Things are going to get kind of nutty. It's going to get kind of nutty, and it's going to get good. I'm looking forward to it. So, Sean, you got anything else you want to add here?
No.
That's a big no. Stay off his lawn, first and foremost, folks.
Stay off my fucking lawn. Yep. No, I have nothing to add. We got through the internet problems.
We did.
Let's call it a day before other shit happens.
Yep, 100%. Guys, thanks so much for checking out this podcast. Again, if you want to support the show in any way, one of the easiest things that you can do is simply leave us a review, especially if you're using Apple Podcasts. Just go over there and give us some constructive criticisms, or if you love the show, tell us what you like the most about it. Any rating will help us. It does not matter whatsoever, but we just want to know what you guys think. And of course, we got big stuff coming in the future. Some new merch about to be dropped. Once winter kind of gets here, I think we're going to drop some new stuff. And of course, as always, take good care of yourselves, guys. We will see you next week with more Jigs and Bigs. For Sean the Fisherman, I am Bobby Roast Beef. Tight lines.
Standing in the rain with his head hung low, couldn't get a ticket, it was a sold out show. Heard the roar of the crowd, he could picture the scene, put his ear to the wall, then like a distant scream, he heard one guitar. The very next day, bought a beat-up six-string in a second-hand store. Didn't know how to play it, Thought he passed his own shadow by the backstage door, like a trip through the past.